People of the state of Michigan versus Shanda Van Ark, count 1, charging open murder involving the death of Timothy Ferguson. We find her guilty of first-degree felony murder. Count 2, first-degree child abuse. We find her guilty of first-degree child abuse.
Degree child abuse. These are separate crimes, and the prosecutor's charging that
Up to you whether you believe that was genuine or not, but even if you believe it wasn't.
Breaking now just into the newsroom within the last half an hour, the Norton Shores mother charged with abusing her special needs son to the point he died alone in their basement has been found guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of first-degree child abuse. The jury was given the case just after 2:30 p.m. today, taking them under 2 hours to reach those verdicts. Here's what happened today leading up to the decisive move made by this jury. We do want to warn you, some may find the topics in this story disturbing.
Mr. Johnson, is your client in some distress?
She's distressed, Your Honor.
This is how Thursday ended in the trial of Shanda Vander Ark, the Muskegon County mother charged in the death of her 15-year-old son, Timothy Ferguson. Retching on the stand for the second time as she is grilled about what led up to the boy's death.
You look like that when you put him in the bathtub?
The mother of 5 and her older son, Paul Ferguson, are accused of orchestrating torturous acts of punishment on the teenager who was living with autism, ADHD, bipolar disorder, and a sensory perception disorder.
He told me on multiple occasions that if he thought that if he pushed me hard enough that I would just quit making him do stuff and I wouldn't make him cooperate.
The pair are accused of locking away Timothy's access to food, subjecting him to hours-long ice baths, and feeding him slices of bread covered in hot sauce.
Your tongue will burn from the sting of the scorpion. Your eyes will tear up as sweat pours off your head. Your throat feels the burn of the Carolina Reaper going down.
This is the exact hot sauce investigators say Shanda ordered off Amazon to punish Timothy. Lieutenant Joel Hoeksema on the stand Friday morning reading the description offered on the side of the bottle.
The pain becomes unbearable, and you feel like you just ate a burning hot coal.
Lieutenant Hoeksema also revealed to the courtroom Friday that investigators had found a video pulled from a surveillance camera in Tim's so-called bedroom. The video shows him being dragged into this closet under the stairs where he was forced to sleep, and then
He was taking short, shallow breaths through his mouth. Kind of picture how a fish out of water would breathe, with gasping for breath through their mouth. And she clamps his mouth shut, tells him that he doesn't need to breathe like that, and then holds his mouth shut for a period of time until he's forced to take breaths through his nose, and tells him, see, you didn't need to breathe through your mouth like that. You're being a dummy or an idiot.
prosecutors hit hard, arguing over and over again that Vander Ark should have known her actions would eventually lead to the death of her son.
It does appear that Timothy actually passes away while in view of that camera.
Yes, it appears that way to me.
Her notion throughout the trial that she thought she was simply disciplining a difficult child dismissed by a jury of her peers.
But as a punishment for your child, you decided that hot sauce, audio alarms, cold, at least cold, if not ice baths, and isolation and sensory deprivation were appropriate means of punishment. Is that your testimony? Those
Yes,
are
sir.
appropriate forms of punishment?
For some of it, yes, sir.
Now, Vander Ark was not in court herself today to hear that verdict due to what the judge called a medical issue. What was said before the jury got in there was that she was dealing with stress related to the case, that she had thoughts of harming herself. Sentencing is set for January 29th. We will, of course, bring you those updates as soon as it happens.